Okay, Professor McEwen here. What we're going to look at in this discussion has to do with the 100 Years' War and the impact it had on England and France and who won the war. So this is probably going to be about 3 paragraphs. So let's first look at England and the impact on England. Well, obviously there's going to be a change in the political institutions between king and parliament, as the king was relying more and more on parliament for money to fight these wars. And parliament would say, yeah, you know what, we're going to give you this money, but you have to make some concessions. For example, let's look at Edward II. When his fight beginning with the English in the 100 Years' War, he's constantly in need of money. He has to go to Parliament. Parliament says, look, we'll give you the money, but we want to see you're using that money properly. Then we could also include Richard II, who was deposed by Henry Bolingbroke, and Parliament elected him as Henry IV, who now faced a number of rebellions during his reign and became very unpopular. There's also King Henry V, my favorite, who defeated the French at the Battle of Agincourt in 1415. And England controlled most of northern France, and this is probably the high point for the English during the 100 Years' War. And it appeared that, England would conquer France shortly, but unfortunately, Henry V died suddenly. And the Treaty of Troyes that was signed with then French King Charles VI gave his daughter Catherine to Henry in marriage. And then, of course, Henry is supposed to inherit the throne after Charles died, and then it go to his son. But unfortunately, that did not happen. So let's now look at advantage and disadvantage. The war was fought entirely on French soil and raged off and on for more than 100 years, 114 years to be exact. This unfortunately devastated the countryside. The French kings were weak, but they would be more powerful by the end of the war. Why? Well, because a lot of the nobles are also dying, losing their estates as well. And the Estates General is not developing the same way as the Parliament was in England. King John II was ransomed, and the middle class saw this as an opportunity to reform the French government and tax structure. In exchange for ransom, the Estates General would meet on a regular basis. This proved not to be true when French King Charles V became king. And then King Charles VI was insane, and it would take really Joan of Arc, the French maiden who would rally demoralized French troops leading them to battle, ultimately capturing and imprisoning the English. And Joan of Arc would be condemned as a heretic and burned the stake, which would lead to King Charles VII becoming the king. Last part, well, who won the war? Well, historians are majority agree that the French won the war. This was due to the fact that England lost all their territory except for the coastal towns of Calais and the claim to the French throne. So that is a lot of information, a lot longer video than usually that I have, but hopefully this will give you enough information that you can use and expand on to write an awesome discussion. And as before, you can always get it to me before 4 p.m. on Thursday. I'll critique it and get it back to you.